On. Alright, starting again. Rasavong. Colby Rasavong. Here in the house, SucioTalked, episode Nashville. We're hanging out on the second floor of the Audrey restaurant. Chef, thank you for doing the podcast.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Dude, it was by chance that I went to go eat a Bahn mi, and you were there. I did not recognize you.
It's not something I go telling everybody.
Yeah, right. I'm just like, and then you come up to me and you're like, "Hey, just want to say love the podcast," and I'm like, "Oh my god!"
Yeah.
You know, I was touched. Really,
awesome.
Thank you for that.
Yeah, glad you felt away, man.
Yeah, man, because it was like, I want this show to get out there, and as I was saying, like, I want to be able to pay chefs and cooks to be on the show. And I think I can make this an actual thing, you know. So that's the goal now. But the goal now today is you. So, you know, we're going to learn all about you. And you know, on SucioTalk, we're going to take it all the way back to when you were a little kid. Where were you born?
I was born in Mobile, Alabama.
No way.
Yeah.
Okay.
Of all places.
Yeah.
About the southern tip of the United States.
Gotcha.
Beyond Florida.
Heard.
Yeah.
Okay. So I was growing up there.
I didn't actually grow up there. I was just born there.
Okay.
My parents divorced early on when I was a kid, so it was a lot of moving around for me. I actually grew up part-time in Winston-Salem, North Carolina, with my dad's grandparents.
Yeah.
And then Murfreesboro, Tennessee was where my mom lived. It's about 30 minutes south of Nashville. So it's back and forth a lot as a kid.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool. What did your mom do?
My mom worked at a car facility, like car warehouses. So she works at Nissan.
Oh, okay.
She's been there for like 25 years.
Oh, sweet.
Yeah.
Okay. What does Dad do?
Dad moves around a lot. Does a lot of construction work.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay. Any siblings?
One sister. She lives in Atlanta.
Oh, dope. What does she do?
She's a stay-at-home mom. She's got 6 kids now.
Damn, bro.
She kind of carries it for the family, takes the pressure off of it.
Yeah, for sure, yeah. And I'm, sure she's a smart woman.
Yeah.
It's better smart people be making babies than dumb ones.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. I'm just throwing that out there. So, this is a gorgeous space, and I'm sorry. Why am I skipping ahead here? I'm like, dude,
it's
I'm
early.
sorry. Yeah, it's early. I'm like,
yeah.
Last night I get home from Jason Duck, the man who I met. He's a bar, like, sort of manager for several bars around town, and he had a party with the Mais truck.
Whoa, yeah.
The school bus, right?
Yeah.
And I met the chef of the truck, and super nice dude.
Yeah.
The tamales are delicious.
Yeah.
I think I left my tamales at the bar, the rest of them.
Yeah.
But, that happens. I hope somebody ate them.
Yeah.
Oh my god, this is horrible. I'm so sorry.
No worries.
I literally am forgetting where I'm at right now.
No worries.
Should have drank a coffee before I got here. All right, where was I?
You were having tamales with Maya's.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Having tamales out there, and you came up in conversation.
Yeah.
All these chefs come up in conversation. So I'm like, let me hit them up, and then you actually messaged me later that day. We're like, hey, love the podcast or whatever, and I was like, hey man, I really feel touched about this, and you were like, hey bro, that was me, and I was like, no fucking way. I was like, out of all the places where I'm at, and it keeps happening in Nashville here, wherever I'm at, there's somebody I know and somebody that they know that I know. So it's been a sweet cook community here. And if any cooks are out there looking for work, like, definitely come to this town. Like, this is the next stop after New York and LA, as far as I'm concerned, at the moment.
Wow, yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, just being here. But then again, it's the 4th stop on my tour, so I'm like, what the fuck am I saying? Who knows? Anyway, back to you, sir. So, what was eating like at home?
Man, it was amazing.
Yeah.
Thinking back on it now, I mean, I was pretty picky as a kid, but like going back, man, every meal was pretty much cooked by my mom or by my grandparents. all just straight like Lao food. The food that I like crave nowadays, that I kind of messed up and never really learned how to cook. So now I take the time, like especially when I'm home with my mom, to see what she's doing and try to learn the recipes. I actually found out recently that in Laos, recipes were never written down. So the only way to eat the food of a family, it was passed down from generation to generation to generation. There's actually no written language for like the Lao dialogue.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. Okay.
So you can't just go find a cookbook on Lao cooking, or you can't find recipes. Like, these are things that are just taught.
Got you.
Yeah.
So would you say that all the scriptures are just kind of new age things that are definitely starting to happen now?
Yeah, it's all borrowed from like Thailand, because they share borders. Like, It's borrowed from like Burmese or like Cambodia, like all these like countries around them that have dialogue and like words and dialect. Like, it's all borrowed. So Laos is kind of like a hodgepodge of it all. And like, the cuisine is very similar. It's like a hodgepodge of everything around you. Yeah.
Holy shit. Okay. And what were your first interests growing up?
Man, so my family actually grew up. I grew up in my family's restaurants. We had restaurants as a kid.
Oh, dope.
And it was actually frowned upon to be a chef when I was kind of growing up.
Okay.
Because, they worked so hard to maintain their lifestyle and cook this food.
You're good.
And they just didn't want that for me, right? They never saw that as an opportunity for like an actual business. And the crazy part is too, we're Lao, but we had Thai restaurants growing up as a kid.
Okay.
And I didn't realize it until I became an adult that why would we have a Thai restaurant? Why are we cooking somebody else's food? We're not even like, the food we were serving at the restaurant was Lao food. Yeah. But it was just labeled as a Thai restaurant.
Gotcha.
And I couldn't figure out why that was until I became an adult. If you look back at that time, in like 1998 to like the early, even 2010s, the only Asian restaurants you saw in the world were Chinese, Japanese, Thai, or Korean. Yep. You couldn't open a Lao restaurant at that time because no one would know what you're talking about. Yeah. Some people still don't know what like Lao food is, or and it'd still be a tricky thing. But now you're starting to see more diversity in Asian restaurants. You're seeing Vietnamese, like you're seeing true like Thai, like northern Thai style restaurants beyond like the shrimp pad Thai, like actual northern Thai like style of food. Yeah. And it's starting to open up, and people are really accepting of it. But at the time, I was, why are we cooking Thai food? Or why do we have a Thai restaurant? Like, we're Lao, and there was no real answer for that until I was able to fully understand it as an adult. Yeah.
Wow.
So
I love those realizations.
Yeah.
As you grow up and you're like, oh, that's what that was.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's like it's this lesson that's just been inside your brain until forever, and then it pops up one day.
Yeah.
That's very cool. So what sort of work would you be doing in there?
So my first restaurant job ever was actually, I was 5 years old. I was the soda boy, if you will.
Yeah.
I sat at the counter when the guests came up, ordered their food with like my aunt or uncle, whoever's working the cash register. They would say, oh, we'll have, the number 5 combo and a Coke. And I would turn around, I'd get them the Coke, I'd give it to them.
That's
and then
dope.
As I, just got older, like when I was 13, I started doing a little bit of the knife work in the kitchen, helping out.
It'd be weird if you were 13 sitting on the counter getting
exactly,
soda still.
Right,
it'd be like, bro, come on.
I got demoted. My cuter cousins got promoted to the soda things. Had to work a little harder. But like I said, it was something I never wanted. It's something my family never wanted me to do, and I never wanted to do it. And I tried really hard to not cook. And it was my final year in high school, and I needed a extracurriculum class. When you're in high school, you need all these extracurricular classes, certain points,
100%,
just to graduate. Yeah. So I was like, you know what? Just throw me in whatever class you want to throw me in. Like, I've already got all the other points for academics. Like, I just need like the extra 2 for a curricular. And they threw me in a culinary arts class, of all things, right? And I'm sitting there, it's the first day of the school year, and we're making biscuits. This sweet, old, like, Southern lady, Miss Lewis, I love her to death. We still talk nowadays. She's so, like, happy, like, how my career's gone in cooking. But we're just making biscuits. This is the first time I was able to make anything outside of Lao food. Okay. So this was my first experience with Southern food, with really American food. I didn't grow up eating a lot of American food. Like, it's funny, actually, when we went out to Chinese restaurants.
Okay.
We never went out to like all these like steakhouses or anything like that.
Yeah.
It was weird. We, as a Lao family, we went out to Chinese restaurants.
Yeah.
But in high school, made biscuits for the first time, and I was just blown away.
Yeah.
Like, I was like, wow, like, this is cooking, right?
Yeah.
This is something you can do. And then she took me on this long year, school's year's worth of, like, career training. Like, I ended up going to the Nashville Art Institute for culinary school, but, like, she took me to all these, like, master chef, like, symposiums.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, as in, like, a 17, 18-year-old
yeah,
kid.
bro, that's, like the world.
Yeah, checking out these, like, master symposiums, like, with, like, certified, like CECs, like, certified executive chefs.
Oh, yeah.
Like, this was cool, so.
It's like CEC, USA, fucking BRA. You're like,
exactly.
Damn, bro, this guy's a doctor.
Yeah, exactly,
You
right?
know?
Really, like, opened my mind to, like, wow, this is a profession. This is something serious. And then I've just kind of been hooked ever since. I went to culinary school, and then a year after culinary school, I ended up at Husk here in Nashville on the opening team, and then shortly after that, ended up dropping out of culinary school.
Okay.
The grind was just too hard. It was waking up at 3 a.m. for the 7 a.m. like classes.
Yeah, the lab.
Yeah, and then you go to school all the way up till 2, 3 o'clock. Then it's like 3 o'clock. You're heading right into work to do prep for service. And
Yeah.
5 o'clock service, and then 1 p.m. or 1 a.m. you're shutting down.
Yeah.
To just do it all over again.
Gotcha.
It got really exhausting.
Around what year was this?
That was 2013.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
2013, you're out in the world, you're working at Husk.
Yeah.
Got you, and then you sort of are like, fuck this school shit.
Yeah.
I gotta get out.
Pretty much,
All right,
yeah.
Got you.
It was one or the other.
Were your parents upset with that?
Very.
Yeah.
Very. Because it became the whole thing of like, we're paying all this money for you to go to school. We told you weren't going to be a chef. And I was like, no. I'm going to be a chef.
I'm just not going to do it your way.
Yeah, I'm just not going to do it the typical way.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't want to go to school anymore because what I'm learning at work, to me, was...
More.
It was more. It was invaluable. Like these things you couldn't learn in class. Like proper deadlines. Like, fuck, I got to be set up at 4:45 because service starts right at 5. If I'm not set up, my service sucks.
Yeah.
Like, I am in the weeds all fucking night.
That sucks.
Yeah.
You're like cutting mise en place and cooking it at the same time. That's like the worst feeling.
Yeah. You don't get that life lesson in school.
No.
School is such a luxury.
It really is.
It's for some people. For me, at that time, it just wasn't necessary.
Yeah. Okay. Very cool. So how long into your time at Husk did you leave?
I was at Husk for 2.5 years.
Gotcha.
Then I went out to visit some friends in Santa Barbara. Ended up staying there for like 9 months, 10 months.
What were you doing out there? Staging?
Staging, working at a few places. Went to go visit them and an old chef of mine, Robbie Wilson.
Okay.
Yeah, he's actually out there now, like crushing it in that area. But I went out there to hang out and then just loved the city. Stayed for a little bit longer.
Yeah.
Just picked up a random job and just enjoyed myself for
Dope.
a few months.
Okay.
Yeah.
I mean, 2 years at a restaurant like Husk, I bet you're kind of like, oh my God, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life?
Yeah.
Questioning yourself. You know? Your
It was a different time. That time was beat down city.
Yeah.
Every
for sure.
day. And we were doing like 250 covers a night.
What chefs were there while you were there?
Funny, Brian Baxter.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, he was my CDC at the time, big mentor of mine. Now he's the chef at Catbird Sea.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, dude. His dinner was dope.
Yeah, it's
like
amazing.
so dope.
It's amazing.
It was cool. Was there any other cooks that you were coming up with that are now still part of the family?
Yeah, Sam Jett.
Oh, no way. Yeah.
Sam
I worked
Jett.
with him in the Sean Brock brunch.
Yeah, exactly.
Fuck
so Sam Jett was also another sous chef there. And then, we had Drew McLeod, who's now like a chef in Asheville.
Oh, heard.
Brian Lee, he's opening up a new spot in town. But he was a chef at Bastion for a little bit here.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. It's so funny that like all the people like I came up with at Husk they all left, but then we're all coming back. Like I left, they left, and then now we're all finding ourselves in Nashville again doing separate things.
Yeah. I'm going to have McLeod on.
You are?
Yeah, when
Sick.
I go up to Nashville.
Sick.
So, yeah, it's dope, yeah. I've reached out.